Hello, welcome to this video. My name is Richard Dalton. I'm an English language teacher for professionals who face anxiety to speak English and grow their careers and live their lives. And today I would like to help you with a pretty specific problem that you might be facing speaking English. Do you ever feel mechanical, robotic, or stiff, unnatural when you speak English? Not the way that you feel when you speak your first language. In your first language, you can effortlessly express your personality and your ideas in a way that feels just like you. But maybe when you speak English, you feel like something's kind of off. Today, let's look at the topic of stress and rhythm. More than maybe any other topic about English, more than your ability to pronounce individual sounds or your ability to use perfect grammar, stress and rhythm can have a huge impact on how well you can confidently follow fast paced, native speed conversations, how well you can engage your listeners when you speak, and just how much you can feel like yourself using the language. And to help you, I've created a free guide that you can get by clicking the link under this video. Download that guide to follow along and to practice and improve. So let's jump in. To make this easy and understandable, we're going to look at the difference between two kinds of languages. The first kind of language that we're looking at is syllable timing. Syllable timed languages basically are going to stress syllables in each word in an even kind of way. So each word and each syllable is going to roughly have equal weight. When I'm talking about syllables, I'm talking about the smallest part of a word that has a vowel sound. So when we teach this topic to children, we like to clap. So let's take the word technology. Technology, 4 syllables. The United States, 5 syllables. My name, Richard Dalton, 4 syllables. So when we're talking about syllables in syllable timed languages, we're talking about stressing each syllable with roughly equal weight as you're speaking. Now, syllable timed languages will be languages like Spanish, Italian, Farsi, Turkish, Korean. If you speak any of these languages, you will notice that there is a kind of machine gun stress happening. Many linguists nickname these languages machine gun stress languages because if you don't speak the language and you're not paying attention to anything but just the stress, you'll notice a rhythm that's kind of like da 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 when we zoom out and we listen to the language in general. Now, listen to someone who is speaking English, but they're using the syllable timed rhythm of Spanish. Listen to this recording of this person. They're a Spanish speaker. They're using the syllable timing rhythm of Spanish, but they're speaking English language, vocabulary, grammar, and so on. Listen to this paragraph.
Please call Stella. Ask her to bring these things with her from the store. 6 spoons of fresh snow peas, 5 thick slabs of blue cheese, and maybe a snack for her brother Bob.
You'll notice that that was kind of hard to follow, right? There was something that felt mechanical about the way they were speaking. But you will also notice that they were pronouncing the individual sounds and words just fine. They didn't really make many mistakes around vocabulary or grammar, but what made them sound difficult to listen to was the stress. So that's going to be because they're using the syllable timing of their first language and speaking English. So when we look at English, what's happening there to make English sound natural? English is not syllable timed. English is stress timed. Stress timed languages follow a totally different pattern. Stress timed languages do not put equal weight on every single syllable. In fact, stress timed languages will divide into 2 different kinds of words. First, you have content words. Content words are the words that get the stress. Content words deliver the message and the meaning of the information we're listening for. These words will give us the new information and context sentence by sentence. Listen to the way I said that. Sentence by sentence. Okay. Those are content words. These are going to be the words with the ideas and the new information. Function words are going to be the second kind of word that we hear. Function words are the words that basically give us the structure of the sentence, the frame of the sentence. These words serve mostly a grammatical purpose. They're words like prepositions: at, on, in, to, from; modals: could, should, would, might, must; articles: a, an, the. And function words are particularly tricky because function words in context do not get stress. In fact, the pronunciation of the vowel sound will change. When you learned how to pronounce these words in your English class, you probably learned the stressed version of how to say them. But in context, between the content words, when we're actually speaking, we will change the vowel sound to most of the function words to a vowel sound called the schwa. What is the schwa sound? In English, we have two kinds of schwas. We have a stressed schwa and an unstressed schwa. We're talking today about the unstressed version of this sound. The unstressed schwa, and the schwa in general, is the most common sound that you will hear in the English language. This sound is everywhere in English. Now, if you take a word like and, just the word and, a conjunction, and you listen to the primary way that we pronounce this word, and, the vowel sound and, and. But when we use this word as a function word in context, it's not going to be pronounced and. For example, the phrase rock and roll. We don't usually say rock and roll. We're going to change the and sound to un. That's the schwa sound. So it's actually going to sound like rock and roll, not rock and roll. Rock and roll, rock and roll. I like rock and roll music, like that. Listen to the word of. Of will sometimes reduce to just the sound the schwa sound. Sometimes the v sound, you won't even hear it. So in fast native speed conversations, you might not hear that's part of the problem. You might hear that's part of the problem. Parta, that's part of the problem, like that. What we're listening here are how the function words reduce down to the schwa sound. Another feature of function words that you will notice is that, especially in American English, the H sounds will drop. So we won't say, what did he say to her? We will drop the H sound. What did he say to her? What did he say to her? You will notice that the H sound will drop and it will just be, what did he say to her? What did he say to her? These are fast native speed conversations. It's not informal. It's not formal. It's just the way that the rhythm of American English will sound. Now, listen to the exact same paragraph that we heard earlier, spoken from someone who speaks a syllable timed language but speaking English. Listen to someone who speaks English natively, reading the same paragraph and using the stress timing that's natural to English.
Please call Stella. Ask her to bring these things with her from the store: 6 spoons of fresh snow peas, 5 thick slabs of blue cheese, and maybe a snack for her brother Bob.
Now compare it to the first recording.
Please call Stella. Ask her to bring these things with her from the store: 6 spoons of fresh snow peas, 5 thick slabs of blue cheese, and maybe a snack for her brother Bob.
So now that you are aware of this, you're not going to be able to not hear it when you listen to English. And this gives you exactly what you need to get started on improving your listening and your stress in your own English. You want to begin with awareness, so that as you go and listen to movies, TV shows, or English conversations around you, it will become very clear when someone is using the right kind of stress. So if syllable timed languages are nicknamed machine gun stress languages, then stress-timed languages are nicknamed Morse code languages. In Morse code, you will stress for information. The stress is connected to ideas. And so when you listen to someone using this kind of stress, it becomes much easier to follow the information. In fact, native speakers are subconsciously, natively, intuitively listening for meaning based on the stress in your speech. So if you're able to stress English effectively, you will be understood much more clearly. To practice this, the research says that you just need to focus on the content words and don't really worry about the function words. If you feel overwhelmed trying to understand how to pronounce and hear all of the function words, the good news is if you just focus on the content word stress, your brain will acquire the sounds of the function words as a result. And you will get the message and you will be able to follow conversations much faster than you realize. So to practice, don't forget to click the link below this video and get my free listening guide so that you can improve your listening for stress. Now, I recommend that you be patient with yourself. When you first try this, you might feel like you're not very good at it, but very quickly, your awareness is going to help you to improve much faster than you think. So again, thanks for listening to this video. Thanks for checking this out. If you enjoyed this and you found it helpful, please like and subscribe to my channel so that I know to make more content like this for you. Once again, have a great day and best of luck with your English.